Hey y'all, and welcome back to our channel. We are here for another PCS Prep video. If you are new here, my name is Katrina. I am a military wife. We have 8 children, and we are getting ready to PCS to an island out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So now I am going to be working on this PCS Prep video, which is putting together my PCS binder. Okay, I've waited long enough to do this. I just got the call that our passports should be in tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of the things that we have collected so far, and I'm going to finally get them organized into our binder. So let's finish talking about our PCS binder. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. I don't want to show the information that's actually on the pages, so I may move the camera quite a bit. I want you to see what's in the tabs, but I don't want you to see the information on the pages. So that's private things, and so just understand that I'm not having problems with my camera today. I'm just, being mindful that the information that is in this binder is private, and so I hope that you can respect that. And yeah, so let's get to it. Okay, so up until this point, everything that we have collected has been put into this file folder. And so we have medical records, immunizations, our birth certificates, like the car title, all of those kinds of things, our copies of our recent LESs, they're all in this folder. So now what I have to do is I have to take all these papers, all of these files, and put them into our PCS binder. So what I'm doing now is I am trying to make my dividers. So I have one divider for identification. I will make one for our health and medical records, one for travel, which is like our plane ticket information, our rental car, hotel stuff. The vehicle is for our insurance policy and our title and all of those types of things. We also had some work done on our vehicle, and I want to keep those receipts in that place also. Our finances, which is our budget, our LES, and probably we will be keeping our receipts here in this section as well. Our contacts are like phone numbers to our health insurance, our bank, which I guess our insurance is through our bank, but that kind of stuff, I want to be able to have those numbers on hand. I also need numbers to like the TLF lodging, where we are going, his sponsor's phone number, those kinds of things that will go there. The other, right now, we're just planning to put vacation ideas of trips we can take on the way, short little things that we can do together as a family while we are traveling in that in-between time, waiting for flights or whatever. So these are the sections that I've come up with so far. So I'm just going to label all of my dividers here, and then I will start putting in our papers. Okay, so it is just a 1-inch notebook that we are turning into this PCS binder. So we have all of our tabs: identification, health and medical, travel, our vehicle information, finances, contacts, and other. You can also have other categories as well. Like, I know that some people have pets, but our Kitty Bones is not going with us. Kitty Bones went to live with Mimi and Papa. They lost 2 of their cats last year, and when we found out how difficult it is to import animals into the island, we just decided to let Kitty Bones go and live with Mimi and Papa. So he's been there for about 6 months now, and he has, you know, gotten accustomed to their dogs and their old cat. They still have one old cat that I'm not sure how long it's going to have left, but now they'll have Kitty Bones, and Kitty Bones is enjoying living there. So Kitty Bones is not going, so we do not need a pet section. Some people also have an education section, but neither Len nor I have any. We've already gotten our degrees, and so we do not have any education information. And of course, our children homeschool, so I don't need any of that information as well. Plus, we already have a homeschool binder that I keep all the important information for that, like our declaration of intent and the list of classes that they had every year. So that is also not going to be something that I travel with in this notebook. But some people also have like a legal section for if they have adoptions or if they're like sharing custody, divorce papers, stuff like that, but we don't have that. So these are the sections that we have, but of course you can do your PCS binder however best fits the family that you have and the documents that you will need to be traveling with. Okay, so it has been 2 days. I had to go get a bigger notebook. So I went and got a 2-inch notebook because we have so many things and we still have more things left to put in here. Please excuse the noise. It is feeling very good outside. It's 70 degrees outside right now. And our kids are outside playing. So this is just going to be a noisy one. So here is the binder. In the beginning, we have this zipper pouch that we keep our passports and Social Security cards in. Len and I, our official passports are not expired yet, so we still have those. The kids' passports, when we came back from Germany, they have already expired, so they have been put in our keepsake box. But we haven't picked up our other passports yet. They should be ready today, so we will pick those up today. The first tab here is just to keep up with our checklists. So like all the checklists that I have found online, they are listed, or they are all put right here. So this is like our unaccompanied baggage, some more moving checklists, some information about our temporary lodging allowance, our pro gear, what counts towards that, the things we can't ship, things to do on moving day, more PCS checklists, things that we have left to do. That is all in this tab. The next tab is our housing tab. So this is all the stuff that we're going to have to do in order to final out of our base housing. So it's a move out cleaning checklist that was provided to us by our rental company, and we also have the cost of repairs that they may have to make, and I also have a deep cleaning checklist we will follow after the movers have packed up and moved everything out of the house. So next we have this right here, which is going to be his orders. So we actually have quite a few copies of his orders, and so that's just one of those things that you're going to want to have on hand. So we have one copy in here. I have a copy in my wallet. There is a copy in my planner. He has a copy, and then we have about 8 more copies. So that's just in case, you know, you need a copy of your orders. So this is our identification tab. We have things like our birth certificates are all in here. There is also our marriage license is in here. We have information on Guam, and I just wanted to make sure that we have the information here that says he does not need a passport. Even though he does have a passport, they did not make him get a no-fee passport, and I just wanted it highlighted showing that he can travel with his CAT card. Next is medical. This is our medical folder. So we have our dental, our immunizations, that kind of stuff. We also have my OB information, the ones that I printed out, and then the other ones. And then we have Jaxton and I, we have dermatology, and then we will also be getting our eye records as well when McKinsey goes back to the eye doctor next week. So travel is next. We have our flight information. We have our both flights. We are on 2 separate flights. Then we have our vehicle information. So our titles, our pre-shipping forms. We have all of that in here. Titles to both vans, even though we're going to be selling one. And then we have like a receipt. We got the crack in our window fixed, and so I had a receipt made up for that. Asked him to give us a receipt just in case the shippers want to know about that crack. Anyway, we also have finance information right here, like the printout telling him how much of an increase he gets and how much money what a limit we have on his card. Our LESs, which is our pay stubs from November, December, January, and soon will be February. I also have our W-2 information and tax information in here for tax purposes. And then we have our contacts. Now, I have already made a list of contacts, but Walmart has not had any paper, and my printer is out of paper. So I ordered some paper from Amazon. It should be here tomorrow, and then I'll be printing out our contacts lists. And I also made a list of all the websites and the passwords that we need to go in here, just in case we get somewhere and get signed out of a website on our phones or on the laptop. We will have that information. So this is what we have so far. We still have whenever we book our rooms, and which we've actually already booked TLF. I need to print those out and put them in here also. So we've already booked our hotel on base here when we leave and our hotel on base when we get there. I need to print those emails out, confirmation emails, and put them in here as well. We will also have a hotel for our first destination when we turn in our van for shipping and wait for our first flight. And then we also have to get a hotel waiting for the actual military rotator. So we will have 2 hotel bookings also going in this notebook. And then I realized that I need to add a tab for shipping, because when they come and ship our things and they do our boxes, we will sign the papers saying what was in the box, and they'll give us copies of that, and I need to be able to put those in here. So I need a tab for that. So I'm going to make up a tab for our shipments so that we can have that with us as well. And so far, I think that that's all. We'll need our cancellation receipts for our cell phone, our lights, our internet, that kind of stuff, just because we don't want any issues. We want to show that we paid our last bill. So this is how we created our PCS binder. And so now we are just waiting for those final individual items that need to go in here, and hopefully it'll be done and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so Len just picked up our passports, and so they have come in these envelopes. So now I'm gonna have to go through each one of the envelopes, pull out the birth certificates that are in there, file them into our PCS binder, and collect our new passports. So that should be 8 more birth certificates that have to be filed into the PCS binder, and these passports will go in that front pocket that I showed you. Okay, so I finally got in this big box of paper. I believe it is 8 reams. Yep, 8 reams, 4,000 sheets. So I'm just going to open it up, load my printer, and then print off our hotel reservations for a PCS binder and a few other things to put in there. And then I'll go back through and show you what we have. All right, so now we have all of our passports. They have been put in this pencil pouch. We are still checking off things from our PCS checklist as we are going through our unaccompanied baggage. And I just wanted to show some of these, like some of the things that you really need to do and when you should be doing them. So yeah, we still have to contact our light company and tell them when we're leaving. We have to go to Verizon so that we can do something with our cell phones, I guess, unlock them and cancel our contract, or we don't really have a contract, but cancel our service with them. We've already contacted our insurance companies, but I haven't checked that off because we actually are going to have to call them again closer to our move date to get our new insurance cards. We had to switch back to a previous insurance company in order to do that. All right, so now we're coming down to it. We are double checking everything and making sure that we are getting ready to hand carry our documents. And I guess this is where I got this checklist from, if y'all want to check that out. So I have quite a few checklists in here, and plus the ones that I print out from when they send us our information. So, and then we also have this PCS checklist that I got from sunflowerspluslove.blogspot.com. Anyway, I went online and just did a search for PCS checklists, and this is what I came up with. So we still have these things to do. I am getting our papers in order. We don't have any pets, but all the rest of our papers I am still getting in order because I had to print some of them off. So we are still confirming transportation and things like that. So now I have these papers right here that I have to put in. McKinsey went to the eye doctor this morning, so her eye doctor information, records, and her glasses prescription I have here that I have put in a clear plastic thing, and it will go in our health records with the rest of our health records that are also in clear plastic containers. Our email confirmations that we have that are like from confirming when our unaccompanied baggage will be picked up. I also have confirmation of when it should arrive, and our confirmation from us booking our hotels on base, both here at the base that we are at and at the base that we are going to. So all of that needs to be filed in here so that I can have it on hand as we are moving from place to place. Okay, thank you to Jaxton for setting up my camera so that you could see me directly instead of me holding it. But anyway, so I put all of our passports in our clear plastic pouch. We have all of our checklists for PCS moving, what to put in each shipment. We have them here in this tab. The next tab, we have our moving out checklist, the things that we will have to clean. Also, the costs of repairs, if we have to have any made in our house. They will tell us when they do our pre-inspection what we will have to pay for when we leave, and my deep cleaning checklist that I'm actually looking forward to following. I'm super excited about getting this house clean because that means that we're leaving. So I had to add in, I told y'all that I was going to add in another tab for our shipments. I had forgotten about that. So I've added in another tab, and this is the information for our shipments. So I have printed out the confirmation emails from when our shipments will be picked up, which also tells us when they should be delivered by. So I really want to have that. In our identification tabs, I have all of the copies of his orders, and again, I don't want y'all to see, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't want you to see the information that's written on it. But all of his orders, and actually he printed out some more. He printed out all of these, so I didn't have any paper. So I'm just going to add all of these. So we should have about 10 copies now of his PCS orders, plus one in my wallet and one in my planner. So that's more copies of his orders for whoever needs them. I have all of our birth certificates in a plastic sheet, our marriage certificates, and some other things, like I know that some of our kids have government bonds that they'll cash out later on. That's in here as well. And the information for Len not having to have his passport. So I really wanted to have that because you never know, they change. Nobody knows the rules ever. So you always have to make sure that you have it in writing because not everybody is always on the same page. So anyway, the next tab is our health and medical. And again, we went to the eye doctor today. So I have a copy of McKinsey's prescription for her glasses if she decides to get some. And then her last 3 visits, her records for that. I have our dental health summary. Now, all of these papers have already been turned in, and that's how we got cleared to leave. But I still, if you're in the military, you know, it doesn't matter who you sent the paperwork to, you need to have a copy of that paperwork because that does not necessarily mean that they got it. And even though I know they got this paperwork because we have been cleared to travel, I still have kept the copies that I sent to them, just in case, because you just never know. Our vaccine records, I have all of them except for Len's. His is with his stuff at work. And then again, I have my OB records. I have our dermatology records. And so that's the records that I have. I did have the dentist send us their records, like from the actual dentist for the kids. But then when I went on there to print those out, apparently that link has expired. But they did tell me that they're going to re-x-ray them and do all that other kind of stuff, so their records are kind of not really needed for the little kids because they haven't really had any major like work done, so it's not something that's super necessary. So I may not even include those. Just if I just happen to call and ask them to resend me their records, but I doubt I'll do that. Anyway, so travel. Here is our travel, like as far as our physical travel. So I printed out our emails for confirmation for our hotel on base here and our hotel on base there. Whenever I book our hotel at our first airport and then our hotel at the second airport, those confirmations will also go in here, as well as our rental vehicle. So we will have to have a rental vehicle after we turn in our van to be shipped. So we have that. I also have our flight information from our first flight and then our flight information from our second flight. Those are in the plastic containers. The plastic, what are they called? Plastic sheet protectors or whatever. The next one is our vehicle tab. So I have the title for the car we're getting ready to sell, ready to go. And then I have the title of the car that we are shipping, and I have all of our shipping information. Now, when you ship a car, ship a vehicle, you go onto the website and you have to upload all of the paperwork. But not only did I upload it to the website, but I also printed it out and have it here. We got approved for what they call the Fast Pass, so we should just be able to go there, let them inspect our car, and then be done. But just in case, I have the confirmation of our Fast Pass approval and the pieces of paper that I had to submit in order to get that Fast Pass approval, because you know, you never know, and I don't want anything to happen. So even if they're like, oh, well, I don't see your approval, I have all the paperwork they needed right here. I also, whenever we go there, we will have to have our vehicle detailed. That information I will also include in this section of our binder. And then I think I told y'all that I have a place for receipts. So like this is the receipt from us getting the repair to our windshield crack. So I do have the receipt to show that we actually did that. The next, I lost my train of thought. The next divider is our finances. And I have the confirmation for him getting an approval to raise his limit for his government travel card. There are a lot of us, so our limit has to be much larger than like a family of 4. So they had to raise his limit on his card. So that's the confirmation for that. I have the taxes, our tax forms, and our pay stubs from the last 3 months. We had some things go on with his pay when he re-enlisted and then made rank, and it was a really crazy situation. So I have a record of that whole ordeal in here, just in case. Oh, so I have to print out our contacts. I told you that I already made that list of contacts on a document, so I need to print that out, put that in here. I also made a list of our passwords in case we get locked out. And I also am going to include this sheet protector for all of our receipts. When you finish PCSing and you turn in all the paperwork, you have to have receipts for your food, you have to have receipts for everything in order for them to pay for it. So all of the receipts will be kept in the back of this folder so that he can easily go and turn everything in and get it done as fast as possible. And so that's it. That's our PCS binder. I don't really know if there's anything else that needs to go in it besides our contact list. We have all of our medical records. Whenever they come and do an inventory of all of our belongings and they give us those pieces of paper that we sign, they will also go in here in the new tab that I created. So this is how I did our PCS binder. I know you can look it up online. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And again, like if you have adoption or divorce papers, you would add that in there. If you have pets, you would add that in there. We just don't have those things, so I did not have to create those sections in our binder. Now, I do have a power of attorney, and it says that you should include your power of attorney, but I don't foresee that happening. We have it put in a file cabinet. I might just pull out a copy of it. We have a few copies of it, so I might just pull that out and put it in here. I don't know why I would need it, but you never know. So maybe I'll just grab that and put it in a file protector or a sheet protector and stick that in here just in case. So that's pretty much it. That is what we have in our PCS binder. So I appreciate y'all following along because it took me a little bit of time to figure out how I wanted to do this and what should be included. So I hope that this helps you out, at least get an idea of how maybe you could organize your own PCS binder. I just know that there are a lot of us and I would like for it to be as smooth as possible. Oh, another thing is that when you travel, I think it's called TSA pre-check, I believe. Anyway, some of our family qualifies for the TSA pre-check. I'm gonna go and get all that information off the internet and also put that in this binder so that hopefully our actual time at the airport won't be that big of a deal either. I am also going to take a few minutes and create on the very front here a timeline. So like what time we can check into our hotels, what time we can check out of our hotels, what time we can check our baggage, that kind of stuff, because I want to make sure that we check our bags the day before or however long before, so that we just don't have to carry all of that stuff around with us. So that's just some ideas of things that you might want to keep in your PCS binder. That's kind of like where my mind is going. So I really appreciate y'all watching this video. I hope that it helps somebody else who is PCSing. It takes some stress off. It helps me to know that I have everything that we could possibly need right here, and it's going to be on me in my book bag with me at all times. And if I need to prove something, or oh, here's another thing. So I don't know if y'all have seen any of our previous videos. I cannot remember. We have not posted our video about about them taking pictures and us cutting their hair. But we took their passport photos and then cut their hair. So if you have seen them in any of our previous videos, our boys had long hair like down to their shoulders. And now they don't. So that's another thing that I'm like really afraid of and stressed out about. So I'm going to go on to my YouTube folders where I have put those photos and video and make sure that I download it onto my phone just in case somebody looks at Tucker's at his passport and is like, that is not this kid. I'll be like, well, actually, here's a video of me cutting his hair. That is this kid. So I'm like really worried about that because they look nothing like their passport photos. And I know you're not supposed to do that, or we really didn't think about it. We were just thinking about, oh my gosh, we're going somewhere where it's going to be really hot. So let's cut your hair and you won't be so hot. But then we got their passports and I was like, wow, I did not realize their hair was that long. So Tucker doesn't look anything like his passport photo, but so I need to do that just to give myself some peace about it, that I can show them the before and after photos and also the actual video of me cutting their hair, because I did do a video that I plan to post whenever I get around to it. So I just think that that's hilarious. But anyway, so maybe that's like something else that I might want to tell you. You might want to cut your hair before you take your passport photos. You're really not supposed to do any drastic changes like that, but you know, hindsight is 20/20, and it's fine. He's 2. I mean, I'm not trying to kidnap a kid, but anyway, just FYI. So thank y'all for watching this video. I really appreciate you joining us. It has been fun to gather all this stuff together, and it gives me peace of mind knowing that I have it all right here. And if Len asks for something, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let me check the binder. And so that's it. If you have any questions or any comments, or you can think of anything that maybe we should add down below. Another thing is that I might actually go online and look up the phone numbers for childcare and things like that they provide when you're PCSing. That's another good thing to have, is the childcare available where you are and where you're going. They always offer PCS childcare. So I might find the phone numbers for that and include them in here also. Anyway, all of the tips that I can think of just keep coming. But if you have any tips, leave them down below in the comments. I'll be happy to read them. And I thank y'all for watching. And until next time, bye.
Ta-da! Look, see? Looks just like all the other YouTubers. They have the camera way back up here.